Hello guys, so I'm just gonna give it a couple seconds or a minute or so as people start joining, if you start joining, because I have not been feeling well. I meant to do this last night. I told a lot of you that I would share our story about having our third baby at the end of September and why we're going down this road again, which might seem crazy to some people. But I have not been feeling well. And so I attempted to do this last night and I was so sick and I just wanted to curl up and stay in bed because by the evenings, like, I am just out of it. Like, I'm completely out of it. So I figured I'll share now. So thanks, Monica. Hey, Kelly. Okay, so I'm sure people will join along the way. So why after 7 years have we decided to have a third baby? So some of you guys know my story. If we're good friends, family, even if you followed my journey in the beginning of becoming a coach, we have two girls. They're 7 and almost 9 now, which is just mind-blowing to me. I feel like I just had them. Hey, Jill. Hey, Kelly. So when we decided to have children back then, you know, when you have kids, it's always like you think there's this perfect time. You're like, well, we have to wait until it's this perfect time. Like, we're just like the sky's gonna open and it's gonna say, oh, you should have kids now, right? Well, that really never happens. You just end up having kids when you think the time is right. And in 9 out of 10 times, the time is just the time. So we had our girls, just like I had in London about thanks for all the love, about 2 years after we got married. So what happened is with my girls, for those who know my story, I actually had to seek out for a fertility specialist. I actually don't think as women we talk about this as much as we should. I think we need to raise more awareness around fertility because it is an issue that a lot of women struggle with. And for us, for myself, I wasn't a coach at the time, so I didn't have that kind of support system back then that I do now. So back then it was really hard. It was a big struggle for myself because I didn't understand why I couldn't get pregnant. And as a woman, you're always, like, hello, we're always thinking about kids and babies at that age. And when you're really wanting to have them, you don't understand why you can't when you struggle with fertility. So after a couple years, I realized, okay, something's broken. So I'm going to go seek out a specialist. So I did see a fertility specialist for London, and I was able to conceive, and we had London. So when we had her, we knew we wanted another one, so we had Piper soon after. And I thought during that time, oh, well, maybe, I always heard these stories, so maybe your body kind of just heals itself and you'll able to conceive. And with Piper, I couldn't conceive again on our own, so I went back to my fertility specialist. And luckily with both of them, after getting on medication, we were able to conceive both of them very quickly, within a month of being on my medication and being monitored and going through that entire process. Now, I don't know if anybody in here has ever struggled with fertility. I know I have a lot of women who follow me, but if you do, that process is extremely, extremely hard. It's just a lot. It's time demanding. You have to do a lot of analysis both on your body and your husband's body. You have to go through a lot of blood work and x-rays, and just they have to kind of investigate. It's diagnostic. They go through a lot of things to rule out different fertility issues that you might be experiencing to determine the correct path for conceiving. So it's very draining, it's very hard, and it's also very financially strapping. So if any of you have gone through that process, it can be incredibly difficult. Again, I went through that at a young age. Well, I was 27 and 29, but I didn't have the support that I have of this group right now, of this community that I have right now. But we were able to get pregnant with both of them. I'm so blessed to have the children and the family that we do. We absolutely love our family. But I knew as soon as I had Piper, literally, I delivered her, and within hours, I knew I wanted another baby. I knew that our family wasn't complete. I felt it in my heart. People told me I was crazy. Tommy thought I was crazy. But I knew I wanted to have another one. But I didn't push it. I just had 2. And when you go from 1 to 2, all of you moms out there that have gone from 1 to 2, your life is very different. Like with 1, it's like, one person can kind of take like 75% of the workload or one day, and the other one, 2, like, no, you all are all in, and you are just you're just trying to survive the days. So there was a big transition to 2. And so we just kind of started to kind of figure out what it meant to our family to be that family of 4. And then over the years, I just kept thinking, okay, well, maybe one day we'll have a 3rd. And those years became further and further apart. And all my good friends, even those who are on here right now, I'm sure they know I've always wanted another one. If you asked me, I'd be like, yeah, just get Tommy on board. But I never pressed it because I wanted it to be something that our whole family wanted. It wasn't just selfishly me wanting another baby. I wanted to make sure that we were ready to have another baby, but not just ready, but just, I don't know, you just know when your family's ready to grow. And so over those years, like I said, I'm not fertile. So we weren't preventing it, but I certainly wasn't doing what I typically do when you track and you monitor and you do all of the crazy stuff that women do when they're ready to get pregnant. In December, I asked Tommy, I said, hey, are you really sure that you don't want to have another baby? And he didn't answer me. And usually when I asked Tommy would be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. We're good. Like, I love this family. This is good. And I never pressed it. I said, okay. So this time when I asked him, he didn't say no. So I was like, well, let's talk about it. So we talked about it. And for me, I just know the process that I have to prepare myself for when going to my fertility specialist. So I said, if you're not sure, I'd like to start the process because it's been 7 years. They might need to do all that testing again. And I want to at least talk to them. And he was like, yeah, let's talk to them. Let's see what they say. Let's see what they think. So that started the process. So in December, we decided, okay, in the new year, we're going to start this process. And I made an appointment with my specialist. He was super excited to see me again. Bless his heart. He's still there, same staff, different building, but great guy. Highly recommend him. If anybody is in the Baltimore area and needs to see a fertility specialist, please reach out to me because I would love to link you up with this gentleman who's amazing. So I went, I scheduled the appointment. Unfortunately, our insurance doesn't cover it anymore. We were very grateful that our insurance in the past covered it. So I didn't carry that expense, but this time we did. This expense would be on us. So I made my appointment, and the day before my appointment, I took a pregnancy test because I was like, well, if I'm going to this $300 consultation, I want to make sure that that I didn't mysteriously get fertile and I'm pregnant or something. So I took the test and it was actually negative. So, of course, every time you take a test, it's always like, oh, that sucks. I kind of got used to it over the years when I had the girls that it was always negative. Like it was negative. For 2 years, it was negative. And then for another year after London, it was negative. So I was used to that. But I just want to make sure because I really didn't want to spend $300 on this consult if by any chance I was pregnant. So anyway, I wasn't. So I went to my appointment. And he wrote on the same legal pad he did 7 or 9 years ago, because at that time with London, it was actually 10 years ago. He wrote on the same legal pad. He writes upside down, but it's all legible. It's amazing. This guy's just amazing. And he's writing upside down, telling me all the stuff that I was told 10 years ago. And he's like, okay, this is what we'd have to do. It's basically been 7 years and we need to do everything all over again. And I just I just sat there and I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, I don't want to go through all that again. Like, I don't want to go through that process of, going through the diagnostic process of fertility. Like, it's just a lot. So I just said, you know, like, we know it worked with London and Piper. Can we just do the same thing? Can you just kind of just let me do the same thing one time? And he's like, no, we really have to do everything again. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But okay, because I'm ready to have a baby. And I'll go through this process. So long story short, the process was supposed to start that week. And I went home and I had to do all these video tutorials and I had to do everything to go through and be prepared for it. And 2 days later, I was supposed to start the process and I didn't know why I didn't start it. So I took my next pregnancy test because of course I bought the pack of 2 because that's what we do as women. We don't buy just a single pregnancy test. That's crazy. You get the double or triple pack. So I turned around and I was like, I woke up the next morning and I wasn't feeling so well. And I said, I was kind of down because I also wanted to start this process and didn't understand why I couldn't start yet. And, it was 6 o'clock. I took my pregnancy test and it was positive. And I about lost my shit. I actually did. I was bawling. I ran down our stairs. Tommy was working out. It was early. It was like 5:30. I run downstairs. I run to the basement. I go into the basement and he's like, what is going on? And I show him my pregnancy test. I'm like, oh my God. So I showed him. I said, I'm pregnant. We don't have to go through the process. It's so hard for me not to cry now because for so many years, I just believed my body was broken. I just believed that, okay, I'm not capable of making children on my own. And if you're a mom, and if for those of you who can make babies like that, like my sisters can, I always tell them they're the fertile myrtles. I always said that. My sisters could look at their spouse and get pregnant. And I wasn't. So I always thought, okay, I was damaged. I played aggressive sports when I was younger. I took Accutane for my skin, not once, but twice. And I just felt like I did this to myself. I damaged my body. And for the longest time, I believed it. And so I was literally I was a mess. I was crying. I was telling Tommy, I was like, my body's normal. It's healed itself. And it was just an incredible moment for us. So while I didn't expect it to be so fast, it was. And we're so blessed and we're so grateful for having this community of amazing people who support us and who congratulated us. I feel so much of the love and support from all of you. So I did want to say that up front. I just wanted to say thank you for all of that. But the other thing the reason why I wanted to share this story is because I know so many women struggle with fertility and struggle with getting pregnant and struggle with understanding why their bodies might not be, very supportive of what you want in life, like having babies and growing your family. And what I went through over the years mentally was really tough because I always felt like if you ever ask me and talk to people, I'm open about, okay, yeah, I took fertility treatments with my children. And I was very open about, my story when I talked to people. But I was never open about how it really made me feel. And as a woman, it makes you feel pretty crummy when you feel like you're not capable of making babies on your own. And part of this is that I truly feel like this is our little miracle baby because it's brought me so much joy already, just knowing that my body is capable of conceiving naturally. And it's an amazing thing. And I do feel that my body has healed. I think because the past 5 years, I have spent so much time not only improving myself mentally through personal development, but also through my nutrition and through my exercise. Back then, I didn't care about the food I ate. I didn't care about exercising. I didn't take care of myself the way I do now. And I want this message to be out there so that people understand that you can heal yourself, that food and nutrition is a form of healing and it can help you. And like, do I know for certain that that's what helped me? No, I won't ever know for certain, but I'm going to believe it because that is the only thing that my answer points to right now. And we are incredibly grateful for it. So I just wanted to share that with all you guys. I hope that inspires some of you guys and helps some of those women out there that are struggling with fertility to know that there are options. Whether it's with specialists, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in sharing your story. And to know that there's people out there that will support you through that. And if you are struggling, if you need that support, please reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you. And like I said, if you need a fertility specialist, I do have a great one I can recommend. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and thank you for letting me share my story with you, and thank you for supporting us and lifting us up during this time, because it has been 7 years. I feel like everything is new again. I don't even know. I went through the baby aisles and I was like, wow, technology, everything is Bluetooth enabled, turn on your swing and turn on your bouncer with your phone. It was amazing. I was like, this is crazy. So much has changed in 7 years. I feel like this is going through this process all over again. So I will be sharing that on my fitness page on Fit Simple. I shared on my personal page because I know I can reach more people through this page, but I will be sharing my journey on my Fit Simple page, and I am super excited to help other women out there go through this as a fit pregnancy, to stay healthy and to stay motivated through the entire 9 months of being pregnant. So I hope you don't mind me sharing that journey, and I hope you guys have an amazing night. Thank you again. Much love to all of you guys. Bye.